Welcome back to a corporate time, and I always love it when we get a surprise guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Munjet.
What's up?
I know you always used to say, "What's up, Dirty Birds?"
Yeah.
What happened to the Dirty Birds
I'm
thing?
changing it up now.
Okay, all right.
You're going back old school.
Little less
Budweiser
professional.
frog.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
So let's talk about skateboarding. Because
We are the #1 skateboard show,
that's right.
and the #1 skateboard
And
show and
this
podcast in
side
Orlando.
of the Mississippi.
Yeah. We're the guys.
So let's give a little bit of Tony Munjet's skateboard background. So he skateboarded when he was younger.
Yes. He used to train under Lester the Molester from I believe it was Skate or Die. He owned a skate shop, Lester's Skate Shop.
When did you get back into skating? Because I feel like it was 5-6 years ago.
No. It was around 2015. I went to
Okay.
California for the first time.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This guy's a real dickhead.
8 years ago.
That's
8 years ago.
You just wait. He's only giving you a 3.
Oh man, he's full crow.
He's full crow today, man. You just wait. He's right.
Again, I started off.
You're like Maisie. You're just like my daughter.
I'm running with jeans on and a hot coffee in my
And it
belly.
makes you mad.
Oh man.
Full speed.
Full speed
And-
coffee run.
And I cannot outrun these kids.
Yeah.
And, it
And then
made
you
me
just
mad.
drink like chalk juice at lunch.
Yeah, why'd
God.
you drink the
God,
chalk
man.
juice? Why
It's
didn't
like
you
I want
just
to
get a
make myself
sandwich?
miserable.
Why didn't you just get a sandwich?
Have a
over
little
like
fun.
Just a small sandwich. or a
Everything that I
wrap?
normally get was gone.
It was
Something
gone. There was
uh,
nothing there.
Did you see how mad I got?
Yeah, he stood there. He stood there in front of the salmon. 'Cause there's a line
God,
of-
my
there's a
grandpa
line
used to
of
get
salmon.
grumpy.
Like you could just feel the
God.
anger over the salmon.
Stupid genetics. Because my grandpa used to get angry at stupid, like if it interrupted his routine in life.
Wait
he'd
a
get
minute,
mad
you
at it.
said you claim you have no routine.
Well, I
We're
had to
finding
get
out a lot.
one.
It's all falling apart right now.
Anyway,
the lies
sorry.
are falling on
Back
top of
to
the lies.
skating.
Okay, back. We're talking. This is the state of skate.
So 7-8 years ago, I was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
You got back.
Around there.
You went out to California.
Yeah, I went to California for the first time, and I figured that it was a dream of mine to go to California and skate. That's, I think, everybody's dream, right? That's where
Not my dream.
skateboarding is from.
Not my
And I figured that if I was going to go there for the first time, I needed to skate. And, I needed to bring my board or whatever. So I bought a new setup, and then from then on, it was like, well, I'm obviously missing this in my life. So
My dream is to go to Alabama and skate. That's where I
That'd be
like to
something
skate.
else in Alabama.
My dream is to go to the bunny ranch and then upon completion kill myself in the parking lot.
Wow.
You can do that.
I know I
you
can.
can.
I
In
know I
fact-
can. I have it written in my phone.
When you're gone one day, I'm like, that's what he did.
That's what he did.
He died doing what he loved.
He must be off to the bunny ranch. And I'm not even going for the ladies. I'm just going to go stand at the bar, get really drunk, and then walk in the parking lot and kill myself.
My dream is to kill myself after I have no money left because I will use everything I have at the bunny ranch first.
I also dream of killing myself after skating in Alabama. So that's a good.
So you went out to California and that kind of reinvigorated your
Yeah.
love for skating.
Where were you seeing better spots, better?
Oh, well, yeah, I
better
mean-
skaters. Were you, like, what was the, what? Because like, there's plenty of people I'm sure that go. Like, I went to California and I used to surf East Coast, and I saw people surfing in California, and like, it was never a huge passion of mine, but I did it. But it was like, what was the main thing you did? Was it just getting back out there? Maybe the weather combined with.
just about everything. I mean, I grew up watching. I mean, this is 2015. I started skating when I was in 1991. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, so I'm growing up watching skate videos from California and like picturing these spots that I to my knowledge I would never see or be able to skate. And then suddenly here I am, in California, and I'm seeing pro skateboarders who's skating spots.
Yeah, I assume saw some.
Yeah, so
that's awesome, dude.
it was a surreal experience, to me, and it sucks that I didn't get to do it when I was younger because I've lived in the States since 2021. No, 2001. Sorry, and it took me that long for me
Right.
to end up going to
Is
California.
skating culture in California? I mean, I know that what we all sort of believe, and we always sort of believe in like things are like so much crazier and bigger. But is it like when you go out there? Is it like night and day, or is it possible to be in a smaller market like in Orlando, be a really good skater and skate and live here and not have to go to like Orlando or to LA or not have to go to New York or even overseas to big cities.
I think it's starting to be that way. You can be from other places. I mean, a lot of people coming out of Texas, like
Yeah.
Florida. I mean, Florida has always been a
We
hub
seem to have
for pro
embraced
skaters.
it,
Like
yeah.
back in the day, like some of the biggest pro skaters, like Jamie Thomas, Andrew Reynolds, like these
Yeah.
guys came out of Florida.
Yeah, you'd hear the names, and then you'd know guys that were lesser known pros. You probably even knew some from Miami that were lesser known pros that knew the bigger guys.
Right.
So this kind of leads into a theory I just thought of how skating will eventually die. And okay,
God
so
damn. Everything's going to die
Yeah, that's
today.
a negative
Well,
guy like Skate GPT.
AI skateboards.
Yes,
or
it's Skate GPT.
maybe that it won't totally die, but the most popular that it ever was going to be has already passed. And so, okay,
I don't know. I feel like I see
I-
more kids on skateboards now than I did back in the day.
No, I think actually, I mean, back in the 80s, it was huge. Like 70s, 80s was humongous. Then it died down back in the early 90s. That's when I started skating.
Yeah, late '90s, it got
And-
hot for me though,
And then
man.
it got a little hotter, a little
Yeah.
hotter. And early 2000s, kind of same way, like kind of went down a little bit. And now with like skateboarding being the Olympics. And now all these contests popping left
I
and
always
right.
laugh when people say that though, because the Olympics are not popular, right?
yeah. Well,
They're
see,
not. They're not. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I started thinking, I was like, okay, like in the 90s, right? Like obviously, like it was, everybody saw the documentaries and the evolution of skateboarding from like the giant fish shaped skateboards,
Yeah.
and then it evolved into Tony Hawk, and then like I feel like
Hawks and fish, from hawks to fish, the skateboarding story.
I'm thinking of like when Tony Hawk Pro Skater came, and like it was a gigantic. I think it was that particular company's biggest game and the most played game. And I've
Yeah.
heard Tony Hawk on like on
Man,
internet
what was
videos
the
talk
name of
about
that company.
how-
Neversoft.
how many
Neversoft.
people.
God, my brain's working again.
So, and then I'm thinking of the 90s, and I'm a child of the 90s, just like a lot of us
Sure,
are.
not me.
And then, and in the 90s, we were forced. I mean, it was pre-social media, pre-internet, right? And it was also a time where, let's face it, our parents they were doing better than their parents. They grew up in the 50s, which barely did anything.
Right.
So it was a lot of us that were just basically let out on the streets, and we just went out and explored the world because there's nothing else to do, right? Video games were on the infancy
Yeah.
of it, and it was not that good, and so we were forced out to go and just explore the world, right? Which led a lot of people into skating, right? And because skateboarding was popular or whatever, and we were forced to do that and keep practicing. And then the people that didn't want or didn't have the resolve to continue to practice and get better, like fell off. And then the people that got addicted to it, just like
Continued
anything,
on, right.
continued on,
Right.
became the best. But the key here, in my theory, is that there was a lot more people being forced to do it, or at least try it, because there was less options of stuff to do. Because we were all a child of like, hey, our parents told us to get out, just go outside. And then now I feel like a lot of people there's so many different options, and like the social media, video games, everything's better. There's so many different
a lot
things.
of digital stuff, a lot of inside stuff.
Digital, so it's
you're
like,
thinking that is gonna kill.
well, there's less kids outside skating. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that being
Yeah.
less, how can it be as popular 20 years from now if this current generation is just, there's less kids even experimenting with it because they're not forced outside?
Well, I don't know, because we have the most skate parks that we've ever had, and that obviously makes sense. Like, parks are being built left and right. We just got a new park down in Barnett by the fairgrounds, which used to be an old park. They tore it apart and they built this brand new, beautiful park.
How is it?
It's amazing. I love it. It's gonna be my favorite, and it's gonna become my local
We'll
park.
leave it for the kids, man. We don't need any old ass man skating around there. It looks weird,
But
so you
the-
just move along.
The parks, dude, like the skate parks, like when you go to a sport complex where there's a skate park, like Candyland in Castleberry, for
Right,
example,
right.
there's a huge complex with baseball fields, soccer fields,
I
basketball.
like the vibe of
This
it.
skate park, is the thing that gets used from sun up to sundown constantly.
Yeah, it's
There's
packed.
always people skating.
Yeah, but so I'm thinking the broader sense of like when me and Daniel, when we first started working with Orlando City and like talking about why, like the popularity of soccer in the United States and what athletes, like why the United States isn't better at soccer. And we everybody within the industry would agree that
culture.
Our best athletes that we have that grew up in the United States are pushed to other sports, right? They're pushed to basketball. They're pushed to NFL
And
first.
They still are.
They're pushed to baseball.
Even
still,
now.
yeah, still
Not
are.
as much, but they still are.
But it's like, if you are a top tier premium athlete, most likely you're going to end up in another sport. You can make more money than soccer, right?
Sure.
Unless you can make it to the EPL from here.
Well, I mean, the likelihood of that even
Smaller,
happening it would be a safer bet going along with what you're saying. You could make either or just to go for football. You'll make more money.
So
I'm
just saying percentage wise, if we don't have like a bunch of like top tier kid athletes trying skateboarding because there's so many other options that we're not going to see.
Well, not everybody does it to be an athlete either. Some people just use it for a mode of transportation, to F around.
No, true.
Like your kids are in skateboard class.
Yeah, but they never will become the best skateboarders because they just don't have the genetic ability or their passion. They have so many other things.
I think they'd have to be really into it.
Yeah, I mean, it really. I don't think it comes.
I think
down to
that's really the thing. Is like, do you want to spend every minute with skateboarding? Then you'll be good. I think that's how you get good at stuff.
I think it has more to do
don't
with
even think it has to do
passion,
with talent.
like literally falling in love
I agree.
with the sport or
Of
the
course.
activity or whatever.
It's like my buddy. Like I always tell the drummer, but I had a buddy that just practiced more than me, and we see where we're at now.
But percentage-wise, are there going to be less forced to do it just because there's so many different other options? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there's more skate parks and there's more people that go to skate parks, but I'm saying there was a generation of kids forced outside and they were all just doing outside stuff.
Yeah, but there's also a generation of parents now that are forcing their kids to try different activities like you.
That was going to be my point. Like, there's the generation of the 40-year-old dads.
They're getting back into skating.
They're getting back into
teaching
skating.
their
There's
They're
a
bringing
lot
their
of them,
kids.
dude.
Yeah.
I see it every day.
I
Like,
can
they
name
bring
like
their kids.
5. I could see you doing it if you were into skating because I could see your boys doing it. Pabone does it.
Yeah.
Who else do I know of that off the top of my dome has been dome? Why did I say that? I was thinking of dome hats. But like I know a bunch of people that have gotten back out there, friends of Andrea's that have gotten back out there to try and skate. I'm not that good, so I will not be partaking.
I've seen
Rolled my ankle about 5 to 6 years ago, and not fun.
And I've seen my friends like take their kids to skate parks and stuff, and there is I'm just posing a question of like and then also
I think we miss a guy. I think you miss a guy, and with Tony Hawk getting older and not skating,
no
all the
icon
time, yeah,
anymore.
you need a guy.
Well, I mean, honestly,
who's the guy that like
Tony Hawk to be as a skateboarder, from the point of view as a skateboarder, like
Yeah.
you can't take away anything that Tony Hawk accomplished in the world of skateboarding at all. The guy was, I guess, the GOAT, right? But he's kind of the cliche of people that don't skate.
Yeah, that's all they
He's
know.
Like, oh,
yeah.
it's like Tony Hawk.
Look at Tony Hawk
Vans.
over here. Yeah.
Like if you're wearing Vans, like you're a skater. If you
he
you
made
like
it
Tony Hawk,
popular.
he was just the biggest at his time, and he's the guy who's
He's
at
the face of
55
it.
or whatever, he's
The
still out
figurehead.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had the video. I think the video games.
Yeah, that's what
is
I'm
what
saying.
Made
But if
him
we don't have a
who
guy,
he is.
Yeah, well,
like I
that's
wish
what-
they had a new guy, some guy I don't know, Jerry Billy, and Jerry Billy's got the new Jerry Billy skateboard game.
But I'm even
That'd be amazing.
I'm even looking at like the X Games was on the other day. Like I was at some hotel. I mean, I say the other day. There's months ago, whenever the hell the X
Sure.
Games, maybe in the summer. I was at some hotel where I was forced to just go through the channels or whatever, and then I was like, "Oh, X Games, right?" And it never even occurred to me that X Games was happening. And then I'm like,
Right.
"How many people are into the X Games?" And like, but I remember the '90s. It was like it was a tune-in thing, but there was just less.
But
stuff.
that was to your friends too, though.
True. Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
a ton of people that didn't give a damn about skateboarding growing up.
Oh
No,
yeah, me too.
No,
I
but the
lived in
X
DeLand.
Games were bigger because
Right,
there was
yeah.
less things. So
And
it was
X
like
Games-
people were interested in it, and then X Games makes or at least exposes kids to skateboarding.
Exposes them to
and
it,
then
for sure.
they're like, "Hey, I want to try this." And like, I know the internet does now too, but it used to be like a sought after thing. Like, "Oh, the X Games is on now."
Well,
it
yeah,
is
right, 'cause
after-
he-
We'd have to go to Hooters to
But I
watch
think
it.
that's your perception because you're not into it as much anymore.
yeah.
I mean, they still sell out the X Games. People are still
True.
watching. It's just
No.
you're not into it, so you perceive like, who cares about it? I don't
Also,
care about
at the
it.
time, the X Games made competition skateboarding mainstream. That's what it was. It was on TV, had sponsors, it was flashy, yada yada yada. Now you got other options. You got Street League, which is a series of competitions.
It was Dirdick's thing, right?
Yeah, it was Dirdick's thing. It still is, I think. And that, I think, made it more of a legit, because it was more like a street focused contest.
Have you watched Street League?
I've seen it on social media videos, but again,
We sat down and watched it one day, me and Andrea, and we were like, they don't explain enough.
but
the system is a little weird if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
It's not just like, it's like two, or I think they get like 2 or 3 45-second runs, and then they have to do like a best trick contest.
You needed somebody there, though. It's kind of like your idea of having the normal dad running at the bottom of the screen so you can see what's happening.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody there really explaining when I was watching Street League. They didn't have really anybody breaking it down for those of us that don't fully know what's happening.
Yeah, and-
so it wasn't a fun watch. It was hard to watch,
And,
you know?
and it goes back to needing characters to make it more popular for the general public. Like seeing some kid's name that you've never even heard of going against some other kids you never heard of, and they're dressed the same, and it's just like, I don't know, you know, I need one of them wearing a USA bandana, you know, like, because we're idiots. Like, you know, the general entertainment of it. That's why wrestling is so ridiculous, because it has characters or whatever. Like that's boxing fell out of popularity because we don't have the Mike Tysons and
now that we have the characters, we hate the boxing.
But so like back to the skating, and even with the X Games, yes, like it's not in my world, but I guarantee you their ratings are lower than they ever were. Like,
I don't know. I'd have to pull the numbers. I have no way to know.
I would bet the ratings for the X Games are
You're making a lot of bets today.
lower than they have.
He's in a bet mode.
Right? When you guys say that like the X Games have lower ratings now than they used to,
I don't know.
Well,
I have no way to quantify that.
What he's saying comparatively over the cross of everything, everything's ratings are lower because there's more to watch.
That
now.
I'll agree with.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's
like
what
MASH,
he's saying.
MASH, the most people ever watched the MASH season finale ever, and it'll never be 200 million or something like that. It'll
Why
never
do you
be
always
beaten.
have to bring up that?
Because it's so stupid. It's such
That's
a
a
horrible
dig to
show, and no one will ever beat that record forever. Like as the most viewed finale of any show, because now it's so segmented.
I guess I hope that they change it up so it's not what you're saying is true. You know what I mean? I never stamp a finality of like, well, it's going away. It's kind of like baseball. Like baseball's doing a lot of things this year to like switch it up and change it up. Now they're getting a lot of heat because you know your traditionalists aren't going to like it.
I honestly feel like skateboarding is getting more popular now.
Well, it's skateboarding, and this is something that came out a few years ago, but it was the biggest or the biggest growth activity in the world. So because it's kind of like a soccer thing. It's like almost simple, right? It's just a skateboard is what you need.
Yeah.
The
And
U.S.
You
need a ball, right?
But it's hard, and that's what makes me feel like people don't want to put in the effort.
Now that I do agree with, and I think that's.
I think I'm maybe misunderstanding. I'm thinking like just skateboarding, not doing tricks or making it a sport.
Just riding a board.
I see more kids out on skateboards than bikes.
I will say that
there's not enough mode of transportation.
Maisie's best friend it's a girl, only asked for skateboards, and she got 3 for her birthday. Like, that's how much she's into it. That's one person. But, yeah, I do see a lot. Around here, there's a lot of skateboards.
It's skateboards and scooters is all I see now.
Well, you know what? You know what?
I see more scooters than skateboards.
Dude, I went to this new park on Barnett last week. And the last time I had been there was 2003 or something like that. And they were more rollerbladers, like doing tricks, than there were skateboarders. And it felt like I went back in time, back to early 2000s.
I think that's because it's easier.
Rollerbladers is coming back.
Rollerblades are very popular around here.
Quads.
Guys, Sam saw there was a man at, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
It started blowing up on TikTok during the pandemic, and so everybody bought a pair, including myself.
Yeah, including my daughter got a badass pair of K2s. There was a man out here with no protection on, no helmet, no pads, no nothing, on a brand new pair. Didn't know what he was doing, and I'm like, well, Godspeed, sir. You're good as dead, but good luck.
Tony, and you'll relate to this. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because I heard Steve-O talk about like how he got into skateboarding.
I like Steve-O now.
When I know,
I
find myself.
Can I just give him a compliment and say that before?
Come a long way.
I would never
my
listen.
least favorite.
Yeah.
He was my least favorite
annoying.
when I'd watch it, and you get the tattoo, and I'm just
I
like,
thought
you
he
are gross.
You know what's funny? I would have said he was the dumbest out of all of them.
And he's not.
And if you, I see
he's
clips of him talking his podcast, and he's a smart guy.
He's refined.
Yeah.
He's caring. He has compassion and love for other people. It seems like he's trying to make the world a good place. He adopted a Peruvian dog off the streets.
He's still,
I like him now. He changed me full 180. Anyway,
he talked about skating, and it made sense. And this is what what most of life is. But he was talking about the people that stuck with skating and that he started hanging out with once he got good. All these people had one thing in common, and the thing was they were willing to try something over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and then
your favorite thing, reps.
and try and all day long, days after days, and then finally get it, and then that fortitude, that grit, that passion, the ambition,
stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want to call it.
And it weeded the people that didn't want to do that out, and then only left this group of like-minded people that were willing to do that.
Yeah, look at all these other podcasts that started with us years ago.
But then,
still around.
So then you look at our people. Are you going to find enough people in society willing to do that now?
Well, that's the thing.
Comparatively to, because there's so many other things to do. Are kids going to go out there and try a trick, and or are they going to get distracted by something else?
Well, they could go and get their video camera and just make a silly video that might get more views than going and trying the trick over it. So they might lean on that, which is why I do agree with.
It's just diluting. Will it ever be as popular as it was at one time in our life?
I agree with your main. If your main point is that you think people are lazy and less people will skateboard because of that and that only, I agree with that. That I agree with.
I was gonna say skateboarding is a great tool to funnel out quitters. It really is. Because it's like what you're saying, right? It's hard. It's not easy.
I'm a quit. I quit skateboarding when I was a kid. It was too hard.
Look at Bam. He can't even quit
Just
alcohol.
like your boys.
Yeah. Like my boy, because they don't have the. You have to have a crazy passion to keep doing it.
It's hard.
And I think skateboarding is different than even like surfing. Because surfing,
you get the benefit of the beach.
There's an element of the beach, and there's an element of just sitting. Some people like surfing; they just go sit out and in the waves.
I surfed, but I also
there's a spirituality with it.
There's
with
also
the ocean and stuff.
half-naked ladies, and you bring a beer to the beach. It's just way better. Like girls with bikini tops on, it's just better.
Getting good at skateboarding is hot.
You're around cops in the city.
I have one trick that I've never done before that I wanted to learn. It is my goal for this year.
Do it at Hot Tub and Mini Fridge event. Will you jump? Are you going to jump? Are you going to jump? We're gonna.
I want to jump a gravedigger. No.
Will you jump a miniature gravedigger?
I would
on a skateboard.
I can ollie it. It depends on how.
Will you box a miniature gravedigger?
I would.
I forgot you did that.
But I've been battling this trick for 6 sessions. So like 6 times that I've gone skate, I'd spend over an hour trying this one trick, and I still haven't been able to land it.
But you're an adult now, so instead of just sitting there and grinding on it until you get really mad and throwing your board and breaking it, you give yourself 6 tries.
No.
No, you just keep doing it.
I have a bad habit of just keep going until I feel like I want to throw up, and then I just give up after an hour and a half of trying one thing. Like, it's a bad habit of mine.
But they throw up.
The passion for skateboarding is already ingrained into your psyche, and you'll die with that passion. You know what I'm saying?
What took it away the first time? Just life, getting busy.
Just like I it's funny because like I had moved here and I was skating a lot, and I was talking to people. Did that pop?
No. I thought that was me. I didn't know.
I banged the camera.
No. I only heard the noise. I was like,
I was talking to people about
active
sponsorships and things like that. I used to be sponsored back in Venezuela, and I was just having issues with the person I was with at the time. They felt like I was skating too much, and it was out of one of those, apart. And then you start working and being an adult and living on your own, and next thing you know, you just didn't have time for it.
Yeah, I mean, it is for kids. It's
wow.
like karate.
I didn't want to say it.
That's the guy on a one wheel.
That's a mode of transportation for future men.
No, I'm joking. But
I ride bikes. I mean, it's basically what babies learned how to do after they walk.
Has there been anything that's come out that has made skateboarding easier? I guess that the electric. I guess all the electric stuff is.
I'm just surprised there aren't guys that have. You know what I thought? Okay, let me throw something out here, and you guys tell me where it went wrong and why I was stupid to believe this. When I first started seeing the electric skateboard, and we bought a longboard, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking when I first realized that you could get high quality, badass motors and hand control it, or just use your, centrifugal force or the movement to your bodies, but namely hand controls. I was like, it's only going to be a matter of time before this may exist, but there are going to be guys that ride boards that are electric, but they look like regular boards with the same dual sides, so they can do tricks. And these guys, instead of doing the tricks that we now all know, they're going to do them just at 65 miles an hour, and it's just going to be a faster electric. And then this is going to change. Then the guys are going to be doing triple flips. I just thought it was going to be the evolution of skateboarding was going to be putting the motor on there. It's going to get you to be able to ride all day, every day with all the tricks. And I don't see it.
Well, they may be because the weight of it and stuff, but even going back to Sam's point as far as modes of transportation, like if once electric skateboards become so inexpensive that you present to a young person, hey, do you want to kick this regular skateboard, old school, or do you want to ride this electric skateboard and not have to do any work? How many of the kids are going to choose the work skateboard? I think most will choose the lazy aspect because everybody's going to choose that, right? As you're going to choose what
I
is
think
less
It,
work.
it depends.
Are electric bikes
Dude,
more
I've
popular than regular
Well,
bikes?
they're more expensive.
Now they do
But-
seem like they
But
are.
if they were the same price, do you think the same thing would happen?
I
Yes.
think yes. I
I
think
agree
think
with
more
that.
people would choose the electric bike. They're
and
like,
I
don't want to
that.
work.
I hate electric
Who
bikes
wants
so
to
much.
work? It's good for you, but you have to force. Like if you're given
not
the
bikes.
decision,
Yeah.
work hard or not work. Everybody wants.
I don't think.
you
See, I
know.
don't think people see it, or kids. They don't see it as work. They just see something that, for example, I was skating one day at my local park, and there was this kid who was riding a scooter. I don't know. He must have been 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was standing on a ramp that I was skating, and I landed a trick called the 360 flip. That is very. It's my favorite trick. I do it all the time, but it's very flashy because the board flips a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And the look on this kid's face was like he must have seen an alien.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
blew his
Illegal
mind. Blew his
alien.
mind.
He's like,
And the next,
I'm
my
calling my
dad says
dad.
you ain't from here.
and the next time,
He's got a hunting permit. I think it's for you.
Oh my god!
It is from '99.
and the next time I saw this kid, like a couple weeks later, whatever, he was on a skateboard. So his dad
Oh,
was
he
like,
changed
yeah,
his
so
life.
he saw something that he liked. That's what happened to me. I used to watch guys in my neighborhood skate from my window, from my 6th floor window. I used to watch them skate around, wanting to do that as well. This is back in the 90s.
Hey kid, let me up there. Is your mom home?
And then eventually I stole my brother's skateboard. My brother's a surfer, and he had a skateboard that he didn't use. And I started skating on my own, like just kind of rolling on my knees, just whatever, not knowing how to do any tricks. And then eventually my parents saw that I had a passion for it, and they bought me my own skateboard in December of '91. That's when I got my own skateboard. And
So
it's-
okay.
December '91.
This leads me into
That's cool, dude.
another thing about how we see and consume the stuff we like. So Daniel just shared with me Crusty Demons of Dirt video the other
Me
day.
and Maisie can't stop watching it.
And
what is it?
It's
It's a dirt bike.
I want to play it.
It was a series of dirt bike movies that like I used to go and buy at the local power sports stores, like a skateboard movie,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know, like CK, like any like
Like a skate
videos, but it was skate videos for dirt bikes, and it was
Mm.
a bunch of dirt bike riders free riding, and then they would have like goofy bits in between. There was a guy named
Right.
Bubba that you push him down a mountain with a dummy inside, and like all the goofy stuff. Same thing for dirt bikes, but in that genre of
funny. I'll send it
time.
to you.
We all were going and consuming this stuff, and you would go and find and get the next Crusty Demons of Dirt video or the next skateboard video.
It was
or,
also
you
a
know.
water cooler for you guys, right? And that's how it built its popularity. You guys would meet up to get the new episode or to get the new tape.
And then you would watch long form, by the way,
Yeah.
because most of these movies
3
would be
hours.
like
Yeah, they're full length videos.
yeah, like an hour and a half or whatever, and then you'd watch all the new skate tricks that people are coming out with. And now there's the internet that we're inundated with the best of everything at all
Yeah.
At all
times.
times, yeah.
And we're scrolling past stuff that, we used to drive down. I remember when me and Turkey Leg would drive 35 minutes to the local power sports store because they would get the new Terra Firma dirt bike video or like the new Nitro Circus or whatever it is.
Right.
And then we'd buy it.
Yeah, you'd have to call
As
first.
a DVD, we'd call, yeah.
You guys
they-
got
they
the
get
new
it.
Crusties? All right, we'll
And
be
then
right there.
drive home, and then we'd all watch it together,
Yeah.
and then so now there's no effort. You're just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So then it, to me, psychologically, it diminishes the value of it a little bit. And I imagine like when you're inundated with all
You're not
these,
having to wait at all, so there's literally
Well,
nothing.
you're
to
seeing the
Right.
best tricks in the world. I don't know.
Here's a cool thing though, because we've talked about this before. The 90s are making a comeback right now, currently.
Yeah.
And full length videos are coming back. Like a lot of these companies are starting to make full length videos again, rather than just having the single skater parts released on Instagram or Thrasher.com or whatever. So you're seeing that a lot. You're seeing the full length videos again, and which is my preferred way of watching a video. I love to sit down and watch an hour-long skate videos with bits in the middle. With each,
I was gonna
each
say
skater.
some of these skaters are even doing. So there is hope. This will make you feel good. Some skaters are going, and they're like, the kid will be like the art director on it, and he'll put his own stuff in there. If you get the name of the kid, and you probably know exactly who he is. I got lost watching one of his videos, and he even does an interview, and he's talking about how I grew up watching. His older brother, was gifting him. Imagine like you and Tim was gifting him all of his old VCR tapes.
Yeah.
So he was influenced by that. So he's like, I like the long form idea of. So he's like, I try to put out one every year, and I try to make it an hour. I don't release little bits.
Skate videos back in like the late 90s, early 2000s were pieces of art.
Yeah, they're
Like,
really great.
Spike Jones,
That's how he started.
He started
Yep.
making skate videos, and then he's Oscar-winning director.
Yeah, I got a buddy kid, a friend of mine, my god sister's son, who's he's a video editor, and he's really, really good. But he started just shooting kids at his local skate park, and then editing like these like really creative, like really good videos, and now he's doing straight up commercial video editing because of
Right.
But
his inspiration.
is that marketed to our generation, our old asses, or are they our 16-year-old kids watching long form skate videos? Because I feel like they're just scrolling TikTok.
Well, no, it depends. Here's the other thing I wanted to point out when it comes like being in the skate world. There's the thing that you see, your street leagues, your X Games, your whatevers. And then there's also the other side that is the core skateboarders. The core skateboarders, meaning they're going to hit the streets. They don't really hit the parks that much. If they're going to film a skate video part, there's no skate parks. It has to be street because otherwise you're not legit, quote unquote. There's always been that section
the
of
underground.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
And it's getting bigger and bigger.
That is more popular. I do agree because if you're in dirt bike terms, there's the guys that race Supercross, and then the guys who free ride, and we always like the free ride guys
everybody
because
did. Flashier, crazier.
Because the competitions, the Supercross was too cookie cutter, too corporate. It was just like you're racing, you're doing your scoring points, and I want to see someone jump gigantic hills that never been jumped and make
something
there's
reckless
There's
and
an art
crazy.
to it. It's like looking at a structure and thinking, well, how can I do a trick off this?
Exactly.
And I think that's always because it appeals more to our artistic side of the mind of skateboarding, which is what it's all about, like free expression and stuff like that. Anyway, back like the initial idea is like, is that gonna continue, or is it just gonna be? I agree. There'll always be a segment of society that's into it. I'm just wondering if it'll ever be as popular as it once was.
Well, then we get those guys on those 90-mile-an-hour unicycles. Like, where are those guys doing tricks?
I don't
You
think
know?
they're just. I mean, going 90 is exhilarating at all times. Like if you it'd be hard to not have or at least
We
have
don't
some
have a
adrenaline
listener
rush.
that has one of those.
We put it out there, then if someone has one,
I did have somebody
I'm gonna-
write me and say it was 90 kilometers. It's only 80 miles an hour, and I was like, 80 mile an hour is still blanking stupid.
Yeah. 75.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't even know if I'd do 55 on that,
40
right?
miles an hour.
55 miles an hour, standing straight up like a soldier on a unicycle.
If you give me a dirt bike helmet and some pads, I'll go 50. But we need some sort of I'm more worried about a car hitting me.
Oh man, I mean,
it looks easy.
We'll
it's
take you
gonna
to the
be
mall parking lot
terrifying.
again.
I mean, it looks like something.
I mean,
We need 3 of them so we can all ride around.
and I say it looks easy because
I don't even know how you
the
ride.
person, like if the person is balancing, it's like, like it looks like they're just leaning forward and going
Every
fast
time
as hell.
I see them, they're going hauling ass. I've never seen one like at a stoplight. What do they do at stoplights? Do they have to stop, or do they stand on it and go whoa, whoa, whoa?
They gotta hop. They gotta hop in the same spot.
Another thing with skateboarding, I remember watching the progression of skateboarding, and then I remember when like Tony Hawk did the 900, and it was a huge thing, and it was like, whoa, it was like at the X
Right.
Games, and same thing with like dirt bike freestyle and stuff. I remember when the first backflip and Kerry Hart tried it, and it was at the X Games, and it was
Yeah.
like, whoa, no one's
Huge.
ever seen it.
Iconic memories.
Even though other people have done it, it's pre-internet, because apparently like other dirt bike riders had done a backflip,
Oh,
but
yeah.
no one had seen
Done
it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
On TV.
so everybody got so good that it got to a point where you're watching these competitions, and there wasn't that quintessential like 900 trick that the masses wanted to see, because they could understand how they that many revolutions.
I
or
know
what
how
it
many
is.
rotations that is.
But when you
Right.
do a fakey backside slide, something
Yeah.
to other skateboarders,
the
it's,
nuance,
it's super. They're like, oh my god, that trick looks super
the
hard.
amount of control or light touch.
But-
or,
Right.
To us, we're looking at it, we're like, I don't know, the 900 looks more
Same thing
impressive
with
than a
guitar.
spin.
You could even apply that to guitar. It's like sometimes you watch these guitarists and they'll do little tricks, and people will
got
be
too-
like, "What am I watching?"
too technical, where everybody got so skilled that it became less entertaining, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a problem that the Olympics had with the general population watching the Olympics. A lot of the comments were like, well, these guys are just falling left and right. Like, you know what I mean? Thinking like,
Right.
it's not easy, dude. Like, it doesn't,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to like 360 flip into a Smith grind or whatever
Yeah.
on a tiny rail and just do it first
That's
try
where
because
Street League will lose people, is that because the guys would get one guy would be like, well, I know what I need to win, so I need this one trick, and they're like, and the guy would try it fall, time's up. Then people go, well, that guy sucks, and absolutely
Exactly.
not.
Yeah, he's
that guy
trying-
is the best of the best. He's just trying something that's never been done.
Well, the anomaly is he makes it, and but
Right.
that is what I'm thinking psychologically is what is gonna, because we live in a society where all we watch is videos all day of people making it, because it's all it's there.
so we need to watch more people failing.
It's edited, but no one wants that.
We need fail
no,
talk.
that's
Fail
not-
talk. Fail talk.
here's a
Swipe.
huge,
Watch something bad. Swipe. Watch something bad.
a huge part of like the 90s videos, actually just about every video, they always had a bails section. So in between, say like the first 3 skaters, then they have a full song of just people eating,
Oh yeah.
hitting hard.
And I have seen the internet adopt a little bit of, they'll show someone fail a bunch of times and make it at the end.
Right.
And so those videos, but the more popular videos is the accumulation of the best tricks put together. So you're watching a 2-minute video of tricks that maybe those people spent 5 weeks
And
trying to combine.
people go years.
Years.
And you don't have to drive down to Galactic G to buy it on VHS. You can literally have it in 3 seconds from your phone. You can
Although
watch
do
it
go
anywhere.
down to Galactic G and get those are my boys, man.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
good
those
folks.
guys. Yeah.
Good folks. Good shop. How long have they been there?
Now since '96.
Well, shout out to Galactic G
and probably
from Galactic D.
the answer is that it's all just being diluted into everybody's into their own thing, and so like the people that are gonna end up being skateboarders are gonna get there. It's just less people are gonna try to get there.
Now,
maybe,
will they
right?
get better will they get better faster because they're concentrated and they're all people that are no nonsense, and it's almost like having a room full of skateboarding scientists because hey, we don't have any riffraff here? Or would they get better with the original way that we kind of grew up, where everybody just kind of did a little bit of skateboarding?
Well, what's interesting is there, and I don't understand why this is true, but there is this phenomenon where people will, and Tony knows about this, that there will be a trick that gets done similar to like the backflip on a dirt bike or the 900 or whatever. And once it gets done, then dozens will do it immediately after. It's like they all have the ability at that time. It's just seeing
think
it,
about it, right?
like knowing that it could be possible was what the humanity
Yeah.
needed to do it. And that's weird to me. It's
Yeah.
like all these people have the ability to do this, and then all it took is them to see it.
Yeah.
And so that's
It's
what
like
a lot of
Samantha
stuff
with
is.
her handicap placard. I saw her using it for better parking spaces, and I'm like, I'm going to use mine too.
There's
How dare you?
She does not do that.
you know what? There was like this
I
with
invented that rumor.
with the under a 4-minute mile, I think, something like that, or 3 minutes. There was some phenomenon with like there was a huge thing about running a mile under a certain time, and everybody thought it was impossible.
I remember this,
And
yeah.
then one guy did it finally, and on some marathon, and it was like, whoa! And it was like headlines, and then a bunch of everybody did it. And it was like, well, how's that work?
Yeah.
Like everybody,
Ice bucket challenge.
like these humans that were the same, you
It's not
know.
supposed to be that easy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that man was Ross McCoy.
Oh man,
Did
he
you
did a
see him
marathon.
run?
Yeah, he
Weird
did
to
a
me.
good time
Yeah.
too.
That's
he,
what I'm saying.
he did a 5K, but he did a good
Right.
time. Really good time. Like Ross can run, man.
So, but then it makes me think, what other things that were like capable as humanity to do, like skateboard tricks, anything that were just never like no one's done it because no one saw someone do it. There's probably a lot, you know, like
Are you now arguing our own argument against you just because people haven't seen it doesn't mean it hasn't been done?
I'm just talking.
Driving me insane.
I had no plan of when I started this.
No plan, man.
Yeah.
Just talking, yeah, we're just shooting it with a friend.
I wanted to start this off by running in jeans. That was like talk about this morning, running in jeans, and then this is where we ended
I
up.
like talking
here
about
we
skateboarding.
are.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fun talking about
This
skateboarding.
my brain is messed up. I was just telling Daniel that this morning Max it was his final day of cross country. He did capture the football again, and then
I think that's so cute.
there was like 24 other parents that were involved like in playing it, and every single parent was dressed in like some athletic gear, of course.
Yeah, the
because
Under
they're-
Armour.
Because you're running. I mean, you're trying to dodge. There's 150
outside.
kids in a giant field, the size of like the field Baldwin. You know, like Maisie goes to school over here. And like that big of a field, and we're all running the length of the field trying to evade kids from tagging us, and everyone. And I'm dressed like this: jeans, polo shoes, and my shirt, let it go to work. And then I remember.
And I said, well, why don't you just put a pair of shorts in your truck or something, you know, in
I
case
didn't
you need
think
them.
about it. I knew we were going to do this, and
Then
I
he
was just
starts
like,
screaming at himself in the parking lot of Publix, calling themselves really bad names I can't repeat on the radio that I can't ever say again. And he's like, I don't know what it is. If I'm one of these guys, and I'm not going to say what those guys are.
Because I'm like, why did I dress like this? And then I'm as hot
But
as hell.
then I answered it for him, and tell me if this is right, Sam, and then we'll leave. I said it's because you said to yourself, you always say this to us. You're like, well, how much?
I can do it.
No, well, how much of me wearing action gear is going to make that day better for Max, or better for the parent, or better for me? How much? 1% better, 2% better, 3% better, 4% better, 5%? Tell me. And you do the thing in your
It wasn't
brain.
worth.
Yeah, and it's not worth it, so you just wear that, and look, you're fine. You're not sweaty anymore. You
No,
look
but
great.
what's weird to me is like normally you wear really comfortable clothes like shorts and
No, he's done
flip-flops.
with that. You haven't been in here. He's done with that now.
And I feel like
Now he's black polos, jeans,
Now
and
during
shoes
the
every
work
day.
week, except for Thursdays, it's business
yeah.
jeans,
No, it's-
sneakers.
you know where-
Thursdays is casual Thursdays.
black polo shirts is for people that let their kids climb strangers' trees.
Oh, that's right. He was there.
Yeah.
He was there.
Oh yeah.
All right,
we'll
we gotta get
we'll
outta
talk
here.
about that later. All right, bye bye.
All right, where's that go?
Tuesday, 3 and 4.
That's today, right?
Yep.
Are we doing one more?
We
Up to you
can. We
guys.
could do one voicemail segment. And Tony, if you want to
Let's do
stick
it.
around
For March, or do you want to do it for tomorrow?
do it for March.
Okay.
Um,
So it will be St. Patty's Day. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about.
or
Related
should
to
we
St.
just
Patty's
wait and
Day.
record that next week and do?
should if it's gonna be St. Patrick's Day.
Um,
I was gonna dig up Leprechaun Baby for people too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find it. Everybody
One
wanted
of my
it.
faves.
I couldn't get it in time to get to it, and we got time now, so.
You're very lucky, I see.
That guy. All right, thanks for doing that. We just got to do an intro. Do people bring one wheels to a skate park at all?
Dude, I don't know if I thought I sent you that video. Like I was leaving the skate park and there was a gang of probably like 12 guys like zzz, going towards the park, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm glad I'm leaving.
you can't do any tricks on this shit.
You can.
No, I mean not
I've
good
seen
tricks.
It's not
the
same.
videos.
They do.
I will say
stupid-
the electric unicycle tricks are actually pretty cool. I was watching videos.
Well, they can
What?
jump.
yeah,
I
they
s-
can do
yeah.
jumps
I've
and
seen
go
'em-
upstairs, and
They could jump like mountain bike jumps.
pretty cool.
That's because they go so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like
I like mountain bikers that are going really slow on a broomstick, and they're like,
yeah.
and then they hop to a log.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, get off your bike and just walk through the forest.
That's an insane skill that takes 10,000
so much
hours
core
of practice. Yeah.
strength.
They fucking they'll jump a cliff onto a rock and just land and like hop.
Yeah, and then go to the next
go to the next
thing.
thing,
Yeah. Nuts.
See, I wonder if seeing something that hard, because you're watching a guy that spent 30 years doing it. So if that discourages kids from like he'll never be that good fast, it'll take him fucking 30 years.
Like, you'd be amazed. Like nowadays, kids are picking up skating so much faster. Like I don't know if it's because of Instagram or whatever, but now
They're
you have,
seeing
like,
it.
Well,
Yeah.
now you have YouTube like how to
Explaining, yeah.
I met this.
The
Venezuelan
the
kid.
how tos. Yeah. That helps.
I met this Venezuelan kid just a couple weeks ago. He's 14. He was at the skate shop, and he's been skating for 2 years. And I remember seeing him skating a few days before the park, and he was like he was way better than most everybody that was there. He was really good. He said, "No, I've been skating for 2 years," and he was showing me clips. Like he lived in Mexico City for a while, and I'm like, dude, you're like really fucking good. And he's like sponsoring everything. He's been skating for 2 years.
Huh. Some people luckily that kid
Natural
found
talent.
skateboarding, because he's
I
probably
told
just
him, dude, like,
genetically
hey, man,
better.
like, don't forget your buddies when you
Well,
grow up. It's like,
good luck making money in the skateboarding industry. That shit is difficult.
it is difficult. You can, but it's really difficult.
Are there any skateboarder influencers that are making money just
Yeah,
by
there's a lot
their
of guys on
influence?
YouTube now and Twitch and shit.
I guess Wednesday 3 we could record.
Okay. You want to bring us back? And then do you have emails?
Yep.
And then I'll get my voicemails. Here we go.
We also forgot to plug your photography. We'll do it.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we
Let's
get
do it. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So, real quick, Arnold Palmer Invitational is this Friday.
Yes, presented by
Saturday,
MasterCard.
Sunday. Starts on Thursday. We'll be out there on Thursday. But if you want your tickets to the White Claw Fan Deck, if you're into golf, it's all ages. So you could bring your kids if they're into golf, and you get the air-conditioned bathrooms, the bar, the food truck, and the seats in the fan deck. And through our link at tomanddan.com, it's only $20 more than general admission, which is cheaper. I believe the cheapest place you could buy these tickets is our link. So if you want to go, buy it through tomanddan.com.
Yeah, and they go very quickly because it's a coveted ticket that people really want. The bathroom, the deck, the private bar, the seat. I mean, you're going to want it.
The golfers are walking through the deck.
It's amazing. And if you've never been, treat yourself to doing it right. Get the tickets where you get a little more amenities, and you will love it. Again, that's the Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard, March 2nd through the 5th.
Let's. What do you want to do here?
Let's do some voicemails. Because here's one ties right in. It's golf.
Hey guys, Tom, I was just wondering. I like to play golf in real life, but I also like to come home and then play golf on my Xbox. Does that make me weird? All right, bye.
I think maybe you'd said that people don't want to. I think you were addressing the train simulator.
No, I was addressing the
Or one
yard
of the-
guy.
The
working
lawnmower
job.
simulator. Yeah.
The yard guy.
We were talking about simulators.
And then going home, and he worked his yard guy job all day, and then he goes home and he plays yard simulator at home. I was saying that's insane to me.
Lawnmower simulator. Have you seen
Being-
lawnmower?
I've not seen lawnmower.
Lawnmower simulator.
Playing golf for
Train
fun.
simulator 3.
I've seen Goat Simulator where you're a goat.
Yeah,
like-
well, that's for children though.
like-
That's for babies. It's like skateboarding.
Well, Tony enjoys skateboarding. He enjoys skateboarding in real life, and then probably will enjoy playing Tony Hawk.
I do.
Tony
Hawk is
so many good skateboarding games.
That's
right?
different.
The new Tony Hawk's
But,
so fun.
but what he probably wouldn't do is when he worked as a beer
There's
delivery
a gas
guy.
station simulator.
Well,
Yeah.
when Tony
Customer service simulator.
drove a truck and unloaded 10,000 pounds of kegs every day, he's not going home and playing Keg Simulator, where you drive a truck and deliver kegs
Right.
to a gas station.
Right. But there probably is at least one.
Yeah.
well,
it's
there-
out there, I'm
yeah,
sure.
it's-
Well, yeah,
there's-
with
there's a
everything,
guy.
there's at least one.
Yeah, there's a guy. I'd probably play, like, if they had, like, radio station simulator, I'd get in there, and especially if it was 90s radio, and I get to sim it. Oh, my God, I'd be harassing everybody. And, it'd be so fun. But I'm sure, like, what other simulators do they have? Simulators are really, really
Dude,
popular right
there's
now.
one that I actually really want, and is a police simulator.
Yes, they have that on
Yeah.
Xbox. I heard it's really boring. You're right. A lot of you do real police work, so it's boring.
Well,
It's
you
like
have to
you're
work
doing-
your way up to like having an actual police car and pull people over and stuff.
In
like
the one, I saw some guy on Twitch. He was playing it, and he just walked out and he just started shooting everyone. And I was like, "There it is."
Well, it just
God
turns
damn.
into Grand Theft Auto. I was like, yeah, because that's what everybody really wants. No one wants to live in reality. What the hell are you doing?
that. It's funny enough, a police simulator.
I would have beat up the hooker on the street
Yeah,
and
I
steal
mean,
her money
my
and then
wi-
drive a plane. You
Yeah,
know,
I tell that with my wife. My wife's like, "What are you doing on Microsoft Flight Simulator?" I'm like, "I'm flying my Piper Cub into the Eiffel Tower." Because that's what you do.
yeah. Although I did get stuck watching some video of some guys like, I'm flying this small engine plane from San Diego to Honolulu.
Yeah, real time. Real time.
Well, he fast forwarded it, but I saw him take off, and it was like, and it's going real fast. And then night comes, and then he lands. But I sat there to watch
He
it
sounded the same.
for 80 seconds, and I got mad at myself. And I'm like, what? And then
Oh,
I
you
started,
screwed up your algorithm.
no, well, I was like, this is poison. Like, what? I wasted my life. I'll never get those 30 seconds back, and it was nothing.
No. It's not him that wasted your life. It's you on that app wasting your life.
No, I know. That's when I was like, I need
you-
to delete TikTok. I shouldn't even be on social media.
I don't want to be
besides-
on it anymore.
You know, besides
I've
our
talked to
BDM
Andrea about it. But I
Besides
need it.
our BDM page or something like a business and interacting with people, I like that. But just watching mindless videos over and over, I'm like, that is candy for our brain. That is not good. I don't think. Like,
Ooh, there's
you know-
a thief simulator where you break into people's houses,
Okay,
B&Es.
that one sounds
That
kinda
one's actually
cool.
kind of. I think
That
I've
one sounds
seen
kinda cool.
Thomas Middleditch. I think he plays it on Twitch.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people get on here, then they do commentary doing that. But I'm just so
Is it-
tired at the end of the day.
Is it
Yeah.
realistic where the only thing of value that anybody has in their house that's easy to carry are
Guns.
guns? because
man,
that's the truth.
I know
the
what we're
only-
gonna be doing. We're gonna be like the new wet bandits.
Yeah,
when this is over.
like no one has leftover like money laying around. Electronics aren't
Pretty
worth.
cool. I might play this.
Yeah, there's
Scout
a-
out the neighborhood for houses to hit and spy on their occupants to work out their daily routines.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So you know when they go to work, so you know when to
Kinda
break in.
Screwed up.
I like
man.
it.
But it's got to be real time. Like you
Yeah,
have
I
to
agree.
sit
Yeah.
in your car for hours and watch until I get
But
home
it's
from
like, do
work.
you have to do all the really bad stuff? Like, what if you're sneaking in and you didn't realize that
Pick
there
locks, rig security systems, cut holes in
some
windows.
old, hold
What?
an old
This is
lady
awesome.
down and scare her until she actually has a cardiac arrest?
I
You
hope
got to do that.
I hope we get to a point in society.
Slap an old man down a flight of stairs.
I'm
You
wearing-
didn't mean to kill him and start crying.
I'm wearing VR goggles and I'm playing Robber Simulator.
Yeah, you're slapping some old lady.
And then for hours, I'm just sitting in my kitchen, but it really is the virtual bushes.
burning your eggs.
And I'm watching until my neighbors get home.
standing there.
And then I'm logging it, and I'm like, all right, tomorrow, this time, I first have to go to sleep with my VR goggles on, sleep, wake up, drive to the
But you're still in the bushes
Yeah.
when you sleep.
And then
Oh, you can basically be the FCC
What do you mean?
in a game.
What do you mean be the FCC?
It's called Not for Broadcast,
Ooh.
and it's the world of television is a fast-paced, high-stress place at the best time, let alone in a dystopian alternate 1980s where broadcasts are actively censored. Although you're only the cleaner, you've accidentally found yourself behind the mixing desk of the biggest news program on TV, National Nightly News. Underqualified and at risk of falling foul of the shady powers behind the scenes, it is your job to select camera feeds, bleep out foul language, and choose the headlines that will broadcast to the world.
Wait a minute, I
There
did
you
this
go.
I done this.
You can do it
This is
again.
my job. I don't want to do it again. I went on Thomas
That's
right.
horrible.
Is that what you wanted to hear? I don't know.
no.
I'm playing it.
I'll play it with somebody else.
There's
I'll
a
play it with
cooking
somebody else.
simulator.
I
Is there-
I got the cooking one. It was free on Xbox if you're what is it? Game Pass.
PC builder.
Is there a
Game Pass? I got the cooking one for Maisie. It's pretty good.
Is there
it's
a,
hard though.
a Home Depot simulator there?
I'm sure there is a power wash one.
There is a Power Wash Simulator is good, but it's just satisfying. It's just like
Right.
literally like an Etch-a-Sketch, and you just go up and down and just just clean. Everything is so nice. It's just so it puts you in a better
You
mood.
should be doing that to your house.
I do. No, I do. Well, Andrea does. I play in the simulator while she's cleaning. The real house.
Yeah, it is. I'm like going.
The only way you'll ever understand these is if you get one. We're gonna have to get you a simulator this year.
We'll do it on Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch show.
Maybe the FCC one is the one for us.
He'd hate that one.
No.
Is it on Steam? What's it on? What platform is it
Let me
on?
go back and find.
Because I'm an Xbox guy. I mean, but if we get it on if we can get it on Steam, I can do it.
PC.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably on Steam then.
Making myself feel better is not valuable to me at all. I know it sounds insane, but
Yeah, yes, it does sound
I'll
insane.
never
Especially
do
if you're
anything.
talking about like if you had AIDS or something, but I get it.
No,
Well,
no.
on let me ask you a question. And I think I know what you and Sam are gonna answer. And
But
I
you
think
don't
I
know
I
me.
think no, I think I actually
you
know.
probably know.
I think you're gonna be on my side. You guys are gonna be on your side. Did you ever, for I guess
Pleasure.
better yourself, make yourself cry?
Yeah.
I do this every couple of months, like on purpose, and I just did it 2 nights ago. I was crying my ass out.
It's a
for hours.
release.
Yeah. I don't
Gotta cry
make
it out.
myself do it, but I'll just I'll know it's coming and I'll lean in. Does that count?
Sometimes I'll watch a really sad movie. Yeah.
Like if I'm feeling it and I'm like, you can either suppress it or you can go into it. And I'll be like, I'm gonna go into it. Right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I realize I can mimic it and get the same release through insane workout.
Okay.
And because I don't cry, and it's harder for me to cry just because I have a natural block to it.
than
Like,
it is for you to lift
then-
your Joe Rogan monkey face kettlebell. He's got the monkey face kettlebell.
If I feel, because I understand the
Oh my
release, like
God.
I understand how human brains work, and then
you heard that.
The robot's talking to us again.
I understand how all brains work.
I can mimic the emotion by working out.
Because Crystal, I mean, she's like, I need to cry. I need to watch a sad movie to get the release. She's told me that for 20 years. So like I've seen
Yeah,
that.
I've
I'm
heard
like,
her say that.
So I'm like there, and I know that there's something to that, but I can't do it. But if I go out there and work myself out until I can barely take a breath, and I'm so sweaty, and like I give it all I can, my muscles are burning, that it gives me some of that same
So you
release.
do so much yard work, you make yourself cry.
No, I can just go out.
It's all the allergies from the yard.
Like force myself to do push-ups and pull-ups until I can't and then just like go like do it, and I'm sweating and I can't
And
breathe.
then you're like,
no, I don't cry. I just but that experience
Do you
is
think-
like kind of
do
crying.
you think we can make you cry?
you're not pushing hard
No.
enough. If you're doing
You can
that
never
and
make
not
me cry.
crying, if you're doing that and not crying, you're not pushing hard enough. You're weak.
I got the
enough.
game for Tom. Rock Simulator.
What is that? It's just a rock.
You're just a rock, and you
That's
watch
so-
you watch the elements
Oh.
all day surrounding you.
And
as
you don't do
as you
anything.
just sit as a rock.
that
How much is that game?
drive
Oh,
me
I was gonna
crazy.
say that sounds like what we used to do when we in a radio.
Oh, there's a
rock
granny
band.
simulator.
What do you do with
You in the
that?
granny simulation?
What do you do?
You make
Are
pie-
you
you
a
make
granny?
pies?
Is it?
Says there are 2 roles in Granny Simulator: the granny and her brat of a grandson. It's the job of the granny to complete their daily tasks, while it's the job of the grandson to put a stop to those tasks through various violent means. So
Oh,
you're beating up your grandma.
I've seen this video. There's free use involved. In this whole I like it.
Don't talk about free use.
I got into free
I
use.
know. I
because
should have
of
never
Daniel.
said it. That's how I know that he's
It's
a
all
robot
not that
into
good.
free use. You're a killing machine. You're one step away from a Terminator.
I don't like how they are
Com-
not getting any pleasure out of it. That's I need the person to signify pleasure for me to know that they
Yeah, he
they
needs. Remember,
like
he
it.
needs to know that other people are having
Well,
fun. Because
wait.
how does he know if he's having fun?
So if you were having sex with yourself, and admittedly you
oh
are
yeah,
a
how do you
quiet
know
sex
you're?
partner,
How do you know
then
you're enjoying?
how does Crystal know that you're
It's a good
enjoying it? Because
question.
you're just like.
Well, I didn't know she's enjoying it.
I understand that.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know if I'm enjoying it or not. They have no idea. But
It's silent. Yeah.
But like
My God in
the
heaven, oh, Jesus
the,
Christ, man.
the
Jesus
free
Christ.
use thing is like they act like.
Do you know what free use is?
No.
It's a
All right.
porn category.
It's a porn category, but in it, it's like people. It'd be like, okay, if you were a girl and we're just talking, and I'm like, oh, hey, how was your day? And then I just come over and we just start doing it, and I'm just blanking you, but you're just acting as if you're on the phone, you're on the computer, it's free use. You're
Right.
not- there's no.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
You're
like,
just an object
You're just an
there.
object.
Yeah.
It's real bad, I think.
And it's new. It's new in the fact that most of the videos are like HD and like filmed in within like seems like the past
It seems
5
to be a
8 years or
relatively
whatever.
newer perversion for sure.
But
Yeah, I never heard of it, and
I never heard it until
God.
I
Daniel
don't know.
told me
I
about
feel
it.
like way back in the day, they had the ones where they're talking on the phone and someone's getting
talking on the
something
phone is
done.
different. They act as if they're talking on the phone and they make no emotion.
Right.
of any, like they don't even act as if
They
anything's
don't
happening.
they don't acknowledge it that it's happening.
Right.
Yeah, but I've
Yeah.
seen those. is
I
what I'm saying.
guess the closest thing would be like there was one where they were playing video games, and the guy's like,
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
three
one.
friends
That's
playing
one.
video
Yeah,
games, and the
You've
guy.
seen 'em
I think
then.
that's how it starts.
Yeah, the one
yeah,
the girl's
yeah.
got a Pikachu hat on.
I've seen that one, yeah.
That's how you know. Everybody in their car right now, when I said that, every guy listening to me just froze a little bit.
I hit the
inside.
brake just like a little bit.
But that's
he knows.
That's more of a
knows.
gonzo. I need a better produced like
Yeah.
office setting.
I like that too.
Yeah. When they're in the office and the boss is there, they're training a new hire.
Oh, I've seen
But,
that one
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Oh, that's the best one.
There's two new. There's a female trainer and a male trainer.
Yeah, that
and
one
then
goes
he-
off
he-
the blanking
He
rails.
gets them both.
Oh,
then
yeah.
they ask, "What do you want? Applebee's?" Like,
Applebee's?
like, what do you want to order?
Yeah, then afterwards, they're like they get the food.
What about House Flipper Simulator? Where you take a junky old house and
I
you make
hate
it nice?
Vanilla Ice.
But to
Isn't
me,
that
it's
what
like,
he is now? Vanilla Ice flips houses.
It's like go out there and do something. You're like, don't just simulate it. Spend the.
Oh, write that down. Don't just simulate it. Do it. Hi, I'm Tom Penn.
I got it. Cowboy Life Simulator.
Oh, Yellowstone Simulator.
Yep.
Yellowstone is garbage.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
wow.
turned his
He's
back
lost
on it.
all of his loves.
It is horrible.
Next, he's gonna throw his one wheel in the dump.
It's almost nearly the worst written show on TV right now.
God.
It's true. It's true. It's horrible.
Worse than how Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
No,
got bad.
it's the same. It just got horrible, and now they don't even show nudity. And I asked Crystal, I was like, is it what is that thing you think you remember something? And
No, I looked it up.
Mandela Effect.
Was it Mandela Effect?
I looked it up.
And then he's like, no, there was a time Beth sat in the tub
With
with
her
her
boobs
teeth
What,
out.
what is it on? What channel?
Peacock.
or-
Is it
It's Peacock?
HBO? No.
It's a.
Oh,
is it
we're gonna get it all
Paramount
wrong.
TV?
Paramount Plus.
Oh,
Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
Paramount
there-
Plus.
there's probably
Sorry,
nudity
I
in it
said
then.
Peacock. I knew it was
Well,
something with a P.
there
But
was
do you think it became so popular that people started watching it with their families, and then
Yeah.
they're like, we can't have teas in it
Well,
anymore?
They pandered to the Midwest
Yeah.
and the popularity of it, and then the writing got. I mean, I'm not joking. The last,
Super generic garbage.
garbage, straight garbage. I'm mad at
Worse
it.
than MASH?
Yeah, worse.
Okay, hold
it's the
on.
worst. It's garbage.
Worse than Game of Thrones ending.
No, Game of Thrones good. Game of Thrones never got garbage to me. I appreciated Game
You know
of
what?
Thrones.
I'm glad you didn't buy into the hype for that and you
No.
went through it. Well done.
No, it was Game of Thrones was fine.
Let me
because
see
it
something
didn't
that-
differ. Yellowstone started out something one way, and then it morphed into some for the masses, just marshmallow writing, garbage,
Yeah.
BS.
It's like the Fast and the Furious series. It started
Worse-
as like a cool car
Yeah,
racing, and then it turned into superhero in
Worse
cars.
than Robert California.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
that was
enjoy.
bad.
I like
enjoyed-
Robert California. I
not
know.
like
I know. I was
Robert.
trying to think of something you and I disagreed on, but
I kind of
I know
still
you hated him. I loved
enjoyed
him.
The Office with Andy as the boss.
Me too.
And it wasn't
It's
as good
different.
as Steve Carell. It was a little different. But this is now. I'm not joking. There's 30% of the entire episode. This last episode of Yellowstone was just music montage of them wrangling like bulls, and like it was just like cowboy stuff. But it's like nothing. It's like what happened to the murder? Like you guys are murderers, and there was fighting and gunfights and teas and people doing
he
bad
liked
stuff.
it. He liked
And
it.
now it's just like fluffy BS of like this guy's doing cowboy things and this like
look at us doing cowboy things. No murder here.
it was just like
certainly no teas.
it became
Yellowstone.
a Chevy truck commercial. Like
Like
seriously,
a rock,
yeah.
like a rock with no teas,
Like
like,
a-
a rock.
like it's just a Chevy truck commercial
But you're
with
still
no
watching it.
substance. No, I fell asleep in it during the middle of it, and then I woke up and said, "I'll never watch this hunk of garbage again. I hate it. It's garbage, and it'll never come back. I don't think because they are gonna pander to fools who like that."
Yeah, this is what I did with Walking Dead, man. I got to a point
I
where
did too.
I stood up and I looked at Andrea and I go, man, I can't do this anymore. What are they going to a new town and now the humans are worse?
yeah.
I'm
I think
like,
it was I think it was season 7. Like we started from day 1, and then I think it was season 7. We're like, all right, we
But
can't.
no,
I can't do it anymore.
But here, okay, there's difference though because
I hated the characters. I hated Rick. I hated Rick's face.
in Walking Dead, it was still the zombies and the killing and all that stuff. They just kept doing it over and over because
it's
there's-
just repetitive.
It was repetitive.
This you're saying they have
This-
abandoned everything
They-
that was cool.
They abandoned all the original ideas of everything, and now it's a Chevy truck commercial with like just long, like it's about the cowboy lifestyle and romanticizing
So did they
it.
tie a bow on the murder? Did they kill all the witnesses? Did they? I
No.
didn't watch one lick of it, so
No,
I'm trying
it's-
to figure out
it's-
why they got rid. What happened to the murder? No everyone's on trial?
Because I'm sure they went through, they tested a bunch of Midwestern, like vanilla, boring life dodos that were like, we don't like the fact that we don't know if these people are good or bad, and they're like, it's like the Breaking Bad.
They need a definitive good person and a definitive bad person.
We like the Dutton's good. We like Rip being a good American cowboy, and he's fighting for his land and the rights, and we don't like when he murders the medical examiner because you're trying to hide your family murdering everybody. Or like, so like we want that, and then so we want a Chevy commercial with fluffy nonsense, and then that's what it turned into.
Fluffy nonsense.
And then it's like
I was this close to being named that.
The writing is so vanilla and horrible that there's just like, and it's like stupid.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's like a network sitcom.
Yeah. It became a network Chevy commercial.
Well, it's only been on for 6 years, right? Or this 5th season?
I don't know.
5,
Yeah, I think this is number 5.
It started off fine, but anyway.
Yeah, let's try. Wow, that's a hot take on
He
Yellowstone.
had to get it
man.
out.
He did. I appreciate that.
But that's what will make them the most money. So I don't even. I'm not even.
Yeah,
that mad at
business-wise,
them.
it's good for
Yeah,
them.
because for
You
the
just
most
got to
part,
find yourself another show.
Yeah,
Last of Us.
Yeah. I've been.
That's a good show.
I'm current on Last
Right,
of
well,
Us.
let's go to Last of Us.
But The Last of Us, it's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it is stressful. There
It
are
is
things that
stressful.
are bad happening, and I think the majority of people like they're like, oh, it's too stressful. Like when I finish an episode of Last of Us, I'm like, woof.
Yeah, you're hot.
Woof,
Yeah, I
like,
get a hot face. I
that
get a
was
hot
rough
face.
to watch, but that's what you should have. Like if you don't have that, then you get Chevy commercial where you're
Yeah.
just like nothing's happening. I don't care.
That's true.
You know.
If I wanted that, I'd just watch QVC.
Give me
which
something.
is why
Yeah.
I watch QVC.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
so
what's
now
good
you're
to-
telling me I should watch
Yeah,
Yellowstone.
it's good to have like a balance. I have Righteous Gemstones
Oh, so good.
and
That
Last of Us.
stresses me out sometimes, though,
Does it?
Righteous. Yeah, because
Why?
they've done a nice job. Well, I'm just wired differently, but they've
Yeah.
done a really nice job of making you for a really silly show with characters that are unbelievably crazy. You care for them, like
Right.
even though they're bad, they're not good people. But I feel like I really care for the Gemstone family. Like when I'm watching them, I'm like, oh, that's Judy. Oh man, she's crazy. Let's try this one. Last of Us call.
BDM from Minnesota here. So I'm sitting here with my lady, Desiree,
Hello.
as she's playing through The Last of Us, the remastered version for the PS5, because she has not seen this before as it came out for the PS3 back almost 20 years ago. Wait, no, 10 years ago, right? We figured out 2013, before we watched the show. I've already played through it. And I paused you, Dan, and I really appreciate you giving a heads up of some spoilers before you mentioned something about it, I think, last week's Friday or 2 weeks ago. But question for you, I'm assuming you've played through the game. So my big question for you, no spoilers, obviously, if you can. How true is it to the start of the game to how it starts in the first few episodes?
I don't fully remember. I think it's pretty accurate. But I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I would definitely play the game first because the game was like awesome.
I never played the game, so I have no idea. Crystal didn't even know it was a game.
Either you can enjoy either. It's the, I would say you
I
don't
play the game. I put a few hours in the game, but it's same thing. Like I had my memory so bad.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Obviously,
I
the
think it was
game
pretty damn
starts
close.
fairly quick compared to the show. Like the game is basically things are happening fast. There's no really a backstory like there is in the show.
But I
if
like
remember
games.
correctly.
See, like I am more of I think I'm becoming more of a game person. Like if I want to relax, like this new Harry Potter game.
Oh yeah,
Got
that too.
It's amazing. Like I'm playing it, and the story is really good, and the family can watch it because it's not vulgar in any
Right.
way. So I can have it on at all times. And Maisie and Andrea will actually watch what I'm doing. Like yesterday, I was racing some girl on a broomstick, and I was the second slowest Slytherin, and I had to be the fastest, and I beat her. I know this is like baby stuff to you, but I'm just like, but it's fun. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, you sound like a baby when you're saying that.
I was racing a girl that's not real on a digital broom.
First, Tony, if people want to hire you to be a photographer,
please.
Where can they reach out?
You can go to monjetphoto.com. That's MONGIAT photo.com. Also on my Instagram at monjetphoto.
So this kind of ties into the AI conversation we had on a different show, but so I know that there are cameras and AI is being infused into cameras where like you could take a picture and it basically scours the internet for the like current trends of pictures. You've seen this before, right?
Yeah.
And then it makes your photo, like using filters and things, look like what the current trend of photos are.
Even more
nowadays.
than filtering, going to as far as like digital retouching by not by hand, by just by automation.
So everybody has got a smartphone and takes pictures, but then when you hire someone like Tony, you see the difference when an actual professional photographer, because they're looking at it differently than you are.
Yeah.
So they're looking at certain things that you're not seeing.
You
right?
can't see that.
And so then that tells me, okay, well, Tony's skill will always be valued.
Yeah, do you
because
see
of
the
that.
wedding over the weekend he shot?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
the
those were from the wedding, right?
Yeah.
Some of them, man, they were great. That looked amazing.
And so
dude.
you're seeing something that
Bring
we're
me
not seeing.
along to
Now,
help.
but are we a small time away from a computer figuring out what that is, because it's just looking at 10,000 professional photographer pictures, right? And then you could take your smartphone and just videotape like a scene,
Yeah.
and then it takes that video and then turns it into super high quality pictures that mimic what a professional photographer would do. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
And then you get professional photographer pictures for free from some AI bot.
Do you think that something like that will
Is
happen?
that possible?
No, no. That,
I don't think right now
I
it
think
is.
that would be. I mean, that would be too hard. You would have to have somebody there filming video, into which at that
In
point
every
just
angle,
have
Yeah.
a photographer
multiple
there. You know?
cameras, or a camera with multiple lenses of some sort.
What I
and
do
multiple
think about
processors.
AI, which it is happening now, it's with the like you're saying, with the editing. AI using the editing software is becoming really, really smart when it comes to like face detection, things like that. Now Lightroom, which is the software that I use, I use Lightroom. You can choose people's eyebrows, eyes, their irises, mouths, and you can create basically presets that you can apply to any other photos you can have in the future. Like, say you want the...
Can you delete my wife's mouth in every picture we have?
You can? Totally. But what would you want that?
Make an appointment.
The technology is becoming more consumer grade.
I don't. Yeah, I guess it can be consumer grade. You have to put the work in. That's the thing, and you have to be computer savvy to understand what it's doing is helping photographers speed up their process.
Yeah, I wouldn't even use the term consumer grade. I think that's being changed too, because a lot of, like, for instance, when I first bought like Final Cut to edit video, remember I tell the story all the time. It was like $1,400.
Yeah.
But now you can buy it for $99. Program's basically still professional grade, and and what Tony's saying is even more true. It's like you have to do your due diligence. It's just if you're clever, I think it's a golden age for guys like me, which are like, I'm a happy snapper and like I'm a quick learner. So I can dig in there. I don't need to know every feature, but I can get better than I would normally ever get, just because it has so many presets and little things that'll do it for me.
Yeah.
But if you're like relatively logical or clever,
Yeah.
you can get a long way now, because you have a lot of apps that do all that fine tuning that only masters used to know how to do.
Like, I saw a piece of software recently that helps you in the culling process of, say, if you have 2,000 photos from a wedding and you have to go through each one of them and choose like the best ones. There's a software now that will do it for you. It'll somehow figure out which ones are the good shots, and it'll just press of a button, and then 30 seconds later it will tell these are the best ones.
That's pretty rad.
I think that's some sort of version of AI, because it's knowing, like, based on where
it's looking for blur, it's looking for facial. They're turned the wrong way, or somebody's back is to the
Right.
Yeah.
And there was also some sort of like Apple update that just happened. Me and Crystal saw it yesterday. I don't never update my phone, so I didn't know. But Crystal was looking at a picture of our living room, and she went to swipe, but she actually held on to like our couch for a second, and then it cut it out.
Yes, it cuts it out.
And then she moved it. And it moved her whole couch.
But in real life, the whole couch, I'm like, oh my God.
And then I was like, "What is
Revelio.
that?" And Crystal's like, "I've never seen that before." She's
Reparo.
like, "What do you do with this?" And then she texted to me, and it was just like it auto cuts out things just by holding.
Yeah,
them.
I don't even know about that.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
And so I guess now you could, like, if I took a picture of this room, I could just hold the red couch and it would just automatically cut it out. I can move it to a different photo.
You can also just remove people and objects
Yeah,
now.
I think it's to erase. It's for white people to erase black people in the back of their photos. Everybody does that.
Well, that's what I'll do with this couch. Hey, I'll put Kenny Sampson there. you know.
All right, let me get another one here. Or do we have to get out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right.
It's getting hot again.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, I can. It always goes to eco mode.
Well, we need something like an oscillating fan, so that
Loud one though.
No, just
Like
so
one of the
it-
ones at Planet Fitness, the big boys.
Well, I'm just saying it can detect motion in our other office because that's where our thermostat is.
Yeah,
so
it goes
so
out.
it never stops. Anyway,
You should have hold on. You should have like put a rag on a stick and then set a reminder on your phone for every 15 minutes to waggle your stick rag.
So you plugged how people can find you, right, Tony?
Yeah, you can go to
forgot.
Tony
mojetphoto.com.
Loves Skateboarding on
Yeah.
YouTube.
You can check out Tony Loves Skateboarding on YouTube. That's Tony with an I.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And do you still do giveaways and stuff like that? Or you look?
I'm gonna be doing some. I got some stuff to give
Okay.
away at the house. So,
Yeah,
I'll
subscribe
give
to his
away.
channel. It's really good.
Are you gonna
And-
make some more shirts? Because
Yes,
I wear my Stay Young shirt because I want people to
TikTok,
understand that I am young-minded and that's my mantra is to stay young.
Hey, look at how I'm deleted this. I deleted this red couch off my phone. Come over here, young man.
So please make some more of those so I can.
yeah. So check out at Stay Young on Instagram.
There you go. Guys, we'll take a break and come right back. All right. Where does that go?
Wednesday 3.
It is getting hot as fuck in here.
But I will need an intro.
That's the 16th, correct?
That's March 1st. That'll be for this Wednesday.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
So that'll be the only thing we've got there?
Yes.
Glad I asked.
And that's 3.
Yeah.
Hold on, little girl. Tell me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl. Hearts can't be that bad when it's true. It's true. The boat on you. Come on, baby. Come on over. Let me be the one to hold you.
Do that keychain in that song?
That is a good ass song. Okay, I'm gonna say something. I like stupid fucking what's his name Nugent playing those. He's good guitar solos, man. He's the lead guitar player in Damn Yankees.
Well,
Ted-
that's not
Ted Nugent. That's it. That's Damn Yankees.
That song? No.
Isn't it?
Extreme or Big? No, Big. Mr. Big.
Mr. Big might be Mr. Big.
Big, Mr. Big.
Well, I was watching the other ones. I was watching the other one. Yeah, you're right. That is Mr. Big. I was watching Damn Yankees. I don't want to hear about it anymore. That song. And Ted Nugent does fucking amazing guitar solo. And I'm like, God, you're such a turd. Mr. Big. Driving me crazy. Don't say goodnight. She said that was a Wednesday, Sam?
Yes, March 1st.
That's hilarious. Wednesday, come here. All right. TC, you want to do an intro real fast? Hello, check, check. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, this is the video I was playing for Andrea. Or for Maisie. This is Bubba. Oh, where's the sound? Oh, yeah.
Damn dirtbikers are on my land.
Is that Alec Murdoch?
Yeah, it does sound like Alan Gregg. It did. So he gets his old Honda.
I had this video and high school. It was fun.
And he takes off. Picking his nose. I don't know why it makes me laugh.
You boys drinking on my land? Fixing to get your ass whooped. I'll show you boys how to get down this hill. Damn dirt bikers.
All right, here he goes. This is it.
There used to be a time where throwing dummies, it was like
I still laugh at it.
what's
I still laugh at it. Oh my god.
what's the old
The Good Son.
No. The his bit was tried to do a stunt. It's fucking
Super Dave Osborne.
Super Dave throwing like dummies down a hill or like pretending like they did some sort of crazy Evil Knievel stunt was funny.
Oh god, I still laugh at that. What is on tonight?
Tonight is AI radio DJ and the State of the Skate.
Do you remember Toonsis, the cat that could
Yes.
drive? On SNL skit, it was a cat that was driving.
My
Oh,
favorite
yeah,
one
yeah.
is with
The very ending is always the cat
Steve
that,
Martin.
Yeah.
And you just drive off a cliff.
Yeah, then it would burst into flames. All right, here we go. This is AI and State of Skate.
I got something.
3, 2.
Hey, I got an email that AI, Tom and Dan are taking our job, so we're gonna have to
Thank
pack
God,
up.
I'm so tired.
I know.
I'm
going
gonna
to
start skateboarding because I've always wanted to do that.
So we're gonna have to pack up all the stuff, and that's it.
Just burn it down.
It'll be better.
It's for fun. Check, check, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Check, check. Oh, we should let Brown Trump do our intro. Check, check, hey, hey. Tonight on a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan talk about, and I know you're tired of it, but AI. And Tony Moe and Jet's here to talk about skateboarding. And here they are, the George Thorogood and BB King of radio, Tom and Dan.
I don't know where I came up with BB King and George Thorogood. I always just try to think of something that's sort of related. Guys, have a